Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. WBC champion Deontay Wilder has reacted to the news that Tyson Fury has signed a co-promotional deal with Top Rank and ESPN, that Tyson Fury exclusively now fights on ESPN in the United States. Many have been wondering, well, where does that leave the state of a rematch with Wilder? The pair fought to a draw on December 1st, 2018, but Wilder is remarkably upbeat. He says he's a free agent. So I'll get to his quotes. He's been talking to the Boxing Voice exclusively. I've got some quotes there from him, but he is saying that a fight can still be made. He doesn't believe there's any impediment to a fight being made with Tyson Fury for a rematch, still in around the same time that they were already talking about. And also, there's a couple of statements on other websites that I'll also point to a bit later in the story for more context. So there's a bit to get through and a few thoughts to delve into, so buckle in. Let's go. So if we get to Deontay Wilder first, talking to the Boxing Voice. So in his interview with them, he says, "It's a great thing." And this is in respect of Tyson Fury's long-term deal with ESPN and Top Rank. That's a co-promotional arrangement with his promoter, Frank Warren, who runs Queensberry Promotions. Wilder says, "It's a great thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, you know. At the end of the day, we put ourselves in the position that we feel is going to enhance our career. If anything, it made the fight better. It don't hurt the fight. If anything, it hurts the other competition, you know, with Joshua. That Fury signing with ESPN because Joshua's with DAZN. It doesn't really affect me. At the end of the day, if he wants to fight, he's going to fight. If not, then we move on to the next one. We have enough guys in the stable that we can fight for the next 2 years. I'm in control." Then a little bit later on, he said, "I'm a free agent. I can fight anyone. I don't really have to necessarily fight on the network that I'm on." And for context, he's been fighting on Showtime for quite some time. Wilder continued, "I can fight anywhere. So that's what's so great about me. At the end of the day, I'm the champion though, so when it comes down to me being the champion, it's really everything is on us. We don't care about what nobody doing or who they signing with. I'm the champ. I'm still undefeated. But the great thing is, I can still maneuver around. I can do whatever I want. You know, that's the best thing about it. So we will see what happens. The rematch is still on the table for him if he wants it." And that's Deontay Wilder saying that Tyson Fury, if he still wants the rematch, they can still make that rematch. And a couple of other highlights within that interview. So Wilder said that UK TV rights were also not an issue, because he was asked, well, are you tied into the PBC deal with ITV? And he said he's free all the way around. And he was asked, well, what about a Dillian Whyte fight? Would that be something you'd be interested in the UK? And he said, yeah, he was interested in that. And also, if this Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder rematch, which has been ordered by the WBC, a purse bid was originally called, then delayed, and now it's been delayed again with no date set by the WBC, Wilder, he was pretty comfortable with if it does go to purse bid, because he said, I'm in good shape due to the 60-40 split. So Deontay Wilder, from what he is saying, he is a free agent. He is not tied into any TV deals currently, so he can effectively go where the money is, go where the fights are, and he doesn't have to worry about promotional arrangements with, you know, broadcasters and all that sort of stuff. He is promoted by, well, he's within the PBC stable. He is advised by Al Heyman. He has been fighting on Showtime in the last few years, but from what he is saying, if this does in fact get made and does land on ESPN through Top Rank, because that is the only way that this could happen now, because Tyson Fury is exclusively with ESPN in the United States now, Deontay Wilder is saying, not a problem. If that ends up being what happens, we can do this. We can make this fight still. It's not a problem. If he wants the fight, we can still do it. So very heartening news for those who were looking forward to the rematch. Deontay Wilder has some room to move. There was, and has been some concern online that with Anthony Joshua being with Sky and DAZN, those broadcasters, through his promotional company Matchroom, and also Tyson Fury now being with BT in the UK and also ESPN in the United States, And Wilder, many people thought he was tied into a long-time Showtime deal, that these three, with the various deals that they had in place, it might end up leading to a bit of a standstill. No one would be able to fight anyone. But what Deontay Wilder is saying is that he is not tied into anything. He can go where he wants, when he wants, where he pleases. So very good news if you want to see that rematch, because it doesn't look like it's dead. And it looks like TV rights won't necessarily be a barrier to that fight. So I guess it comes back to, well, what have they been working on? And this, as I mentioned in my previous video, talking about the news from the Fury side with ESPN, their announcement press release, also Frank Warren, the information from frankwarren.com, what they were saying with BT at the press conference, etc., that potentially they have been talking with Shelley Finkel and letting him know that actually the TV rights issue is something that we have to work through, because we don't necessarily want to do it with Showtime, because actually now we can't do it with Showtime. So Shelley Finkel may have already had a heads up with this. And on boxingscene.com there is actually a story here. I'll just click to it now. So it says, Wilder manager still hopes Fury rematch deal can be reached. So it goes through some of the background here. And so this deal that Tyson Fury has signed, reportedly worth £80 million. And the BBC reported that it covers Fury's next 5 fights. And as we heard with the different press releases from the different people, a minimum of 2 fights in the United States per year. So if we just go down to the quotes here, Wilder's manager Shelley Finkel told ESPN that he still hopes a deal can be reached for the rematch. We are hoping to make the fight and figure out how, with this new relationship that they have with ESPN, that it can be done. I would want to try and make it with Showtime and ESPN, bracket working together. Al Heyman wants to make the fight, and that whatever is realistic will get done, Finkel said. Perhaps it is a bit optimistic to think that Showtime would be part of this arrangement, because as Deontay Wilder has said, he doesn't have any arrangement with Showtime at this point in time in his career. He is on a fight-by-fight deal with them from what he is saying. He's a free agent, can go wherever he likes. So, but ultimately, they might be able to come in with a bit of leverage and sort of say, well, he is the champ. If you want the rematch, you can do this. But you would have to imagine that Tyson Fury has a bit more leverage now with this deal. And if Deontay Wilder really wants that rematch, so he was trying to position it as Tyson Fury, if he still wants the rematch, he knows where we are, we can still get a deal done. But who else is Deontay Wilder really going to fight? Anything less than a Tyson Fury rematch right now is a bit of a step down, but also, it would be a massive drop in pay, but it's not, and the other opponents that are potentially out there are not the guys that people want to see Deontay Wilder against. So you'd have to wonder, has Tyson Fury sort of backed Deontay Wilder into a little bit of a corner here? And you heard from those earlier quotes, he sort of, was trying to indicate that, it doesn't matter who people sign with. Effectively, they're still calling the shots and, directing traffic on these situations. But with this move by Tyson Fury and Frank Warren, a co-promotional arrangement with ESPN, locking Tyson Fury into an exclusive arrangement with ESPN and Top Rank in the United States for his fights. If Wilder wants that fight, really, he has to come over to the terms for Tyson Fury and Frank Warren and be on that network. So I'm not really sure if Showtime will really feature in this, even though Shelley Finkel has sort of suggested perhaps they might. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to money, and the broadcaster is just a vehicle. So if they can get it on to ESPN, get the deal done, I don't see anything stopping this from happening. Obviously, Showtime is going to feel a bit sort of backhanded here, and they won't like the position that they're put in, basically left out in the cold, because I don't see this being on a dual network. There's no need for that, because as Wilder has said, he's not locked into anything, so he doesn't have any obligations to Showtime. Maybe there's a bit of a handshake agreement between the respective parties that they'll continue to work on Showtime, deliver those big pay-per-views. The first pay-per-view between Wilder and Fury was on Showtime, so maybe there was the expectation there would be a repeat of that, but I'm just not sure I can see that happening. It looks like Top Rank, ESPN, Tyson Fury, and Frank Warren have outflanked Deontay Wilder and his management on this, and if it does land anywhere, it can only be on ESPN. But I guess, also going to the next thing, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. That fight just looks like it may never ever happen now. It's sort of one of those things I've been thinking about since I, got this news that, now that he's locked into this deal, a long-term deal, Joshua similarly is locked into a long-term deal, rival broadcasters in both the United Kingdom and the United States. You'd have to imagine it can never happen now. There's another story here on Boxing Scene. I'll just cross over to this. As for Joshua, we wanted that also, but they didn't. Now they will have to come to us. I'm just not sure that is really realistic from Tyson Fury there. That's him quoted saying they'll have to come to us. I can't see anyone going to anyone. So Fury and Joshua, which would probably be the one of the biggest fights in heavyweight boxing, in all of boxing, and possibly the biggest heavyweight fight in British history, is probably never going to come to pass because of promotional and TV arrangements. And fans are a little bit poorer for this, but going back to the key takeout from Deontay Wilder and what he was saying to the Boxing Voice, the fight can still happen. Wilder's a free agent. He is available to set up whatever deals he wants for, his next fight. He's not bound to anyone. Nothing is standing in the way of making that rematch. So if it does happen, it's going to be an ESPN pay-per-view by all money, you'd have to imagine. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.